So, good afternoon and warm Pacific greetings to you all. We will begin shortly with the next presentation, and we welcome you all. Thank you for joining us face to face. Those who are joining us through live from all our regional campuses, the public joining us today here for the launch program, and now for our first presentation for this year's USP Entrepreneurial Fair 2023. For this afternoon, we will have a presentation. She calls herself Queen, and she told me to introduce herself. When I call her, I say Her Majesty. And yes, she is a queen because the company goes by the name Lovo Queen. And the name is also Miss Elizabeth, so close to Elizabeth. So she is a queen. So this is from Lovo Queen, Miss Elizabeth. She'll be presenting with us in another 5 minutes. So let's give a big round of applause to Madam. She's taking out her time here to be with us this afternoon to inspire us about her business and probably give us some tips so that we can beat her in business. So we'll wait for her presentation. Thank you.
How will you do it?
That height good?
Yes, you did it this time. He asked me if he addressed me properly this time, and he did. So you have before you Her Majesty, the Lava Queen. Bulavinaka, and welcome to this auditorium this afternoon. I hope I will be able to maintain your attention and your interest and your excitement through this presentation. So, dare to be an entrepreneur. Are we all able to dare to be an entrepreneur today coming to this fair? Yes? Great. If you lie, you're lying to yourself. You're not lying to me. But dare because it takes courage. It takes a lot of confidence. It takes boldness. It takes bravery to become an entrepreneur. Okay. We can all be students at the University of the South Pacific, but after graduating from here, there is no guarantee that we will get the job that we set out to have at the end of our studies, right? There's no guarantee about that. But there's always this option. There's always the option of you looking in the mirror and challenging that person in the mirror to step out of your comfort zone. And that's why we have this week-long event. And, okay, this thing doesn't want to move to the next slide. I hope you've all enjoyed your refreshments. For those of you joining in on Zoom, we apologize. Yeah. Right. So today I'm just going to be sharing about my journey as a mompreneur. I was very, very glad and very, very encouraged this morning seeing some mothers walk in with their children. If you see the pictures I've shared with you here, that's me and my youngest son. Having babies should not be a barrier to having your own business, to stepping out of your comfort zone as a mother. And Her Majesty the Lava Queen is the mother of only 9. Yeah? So this is number 9 of 9 that I'm carrying there while I'm doing my work. You see the middle picture? What do you see? Yeah, I'm platting chickens. That's in Fiji and it's called talisasa. But I have my baby also crying for attention. And that's what makes us women way more powerful than men. No offense to men in the house. No offense. But I'm challenging all women out there, young girls. Don't ever think you can't do it. I have 9. And I will share with you my journey as to where we are now with our entrepreneurship. Right. 10 years ago, me, entrepreneur? No chance. Why? Because I had set myself up to be an employee for the bank as an auditor and moving further up the ladder in the career that we've all gotten used to. I never dreamt that one day I will be a stay-at-home mom running a business. And that's what I am right now. So, entrepreneurship, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you have the world in your hands. You don't have to report why you're coming in late, because I had to do that a lot when I was at Westpac. Oh, yes, Westpac. I'm very proud of this bank that's sponsoring this event today. I used to be at Westpac for 10 years. I am not discouraging anybody from pursuing a career wherever you've set your goals. No, go for it. But I'm also encouraging you, you can have that while you can also open yourself up to be an entrepreneur. So yes, sometimes in life, circumstances force your choices. And for me, that was quite right. All right, a little introduction about Her Majesty the Lava Queen of Fiji. First of all, I am proud mother to only 9. I also am a USP alumni, graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce in Accounting and Agricultural Economics. I went further. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship and complete my Master of Science in Biodiversity Conservation and Sustainable Development. Too fancy a word. Basically, I just look after the environment. So getting those 2 qualifications from the university, and this is why education is important. I enjoyed some work as a bank officer. I have no idea why that didn't go up there, but no offense to our major sponsors. Ms. Varasi Revi, please, may I be forgiven. But yes, I worked for Westpac for 10 years. And then I became an auditor with EY. I am currently a freelance consultant. I'm a community engagement specialist. I'm a very, very loud woman advocate, and also a financial literacy mentor. But the main part is I am proudly from Wadi, a very tiny village that's currently sinking. Wadi, Lakemba, Lao. And that's where I was born and raised until I had to come for further education in Suva. And I was fortunate enough to be schooled in the right school, Andida Compound School. Okay, so I'm going to get straight to the background of our journey. For those of our followers that are here, our Facebook page is Tent9. You all know the meaning of 9 now. Tent9 Lava Queen. That's our Facebook page. We basically started from nothing. So if you are discouraged that you don't have the capital, that you don't have the knowledge, that you don't have anything like to start with, I will tell you today, you just look in the mirror. Talk to that person in the mirror. Find your passion, find your drive, because you were created and you were gifted right from the beginning. You just need to find that, and that will take you through. All right, my unemployed days. After leaving Westpac, I was unemployed for another about 4 years roughly. I was unemployed. So during my unemployed days, I experimented with some little home businesses. Just making lunch bags. I started with Lovo as well. But then I enrolled myself at university. By the way, when I came to the University of the South Pacific, I was on to my 6th. I had 6 of 9 then. So if you have 4 or 3 now and you think you can't, I'm telling you, you can. come back, pick up the pen, pick up your paper and start again if you still wish to do so. So yes, that's when I enrolled back at USP. Fortunately, I had some funds in my FNPF that covered my first semester fees. And then I had to really work very hard to get a scholarship in the second semester. We had FAB scholarship back then, and that funded the rest of my studies at USP. But I still needed to eat. I still needed to send money for my kids. I still needed pocket money. And FAB at that time was not giving allowances because those recipients before me, if you're listening, you spoiled it for us. So when it came to our time, we only received book allowances. And that book allowance doesn't even come to our wallets. It goes straight to the book center. Yeah, so I had to find a source of income. I will not recommend my source of income, but I will share with you what was my source of income back then. I befriended the islanders because they had the allowances. Us Fijians were very poor. So all of my friends were Tongans. Oh, I love the Tongans because I ate all the time. I never went hungry. All of my friends were Tongans, Samoans, and other Pacific Islanders. And I also knew that they loved clubbing, that they loved going out. So I would open up the choice to them. Come on, just go clubbing, just pay me $25 and I'll do your assignment. And that's what I did. Please do not take my example. Follow my advice, not my example. Do not do that. Again, sometimes circumstances force your choices. This is not something that I will recommend to current students. Please do not. But this is what I survived on, especially for the first 2 semesters that I spent here at the USP. I did assignments for all the courses, and they paid me $25 per paper. And if they got an A or A plus, they come back to me and top up. So I was getting fed by the Tongans, and I was getting money on the side. But while I was sending money for my children who were with my now late sister in the village, God rest her soul, I was also able to do little things. And I also reinvested the money that the surplus, and I started lending to the clubbers. The Vanuatu students were my best because they had the fattest wallet when it came to allowance. They had a lot of money to throw around, and I was very glad to collect their ATM cards. And yeah, so I started lending money from $100 while I was at the University of the South Pacific. And that $100 has grown so much to this day. Yeah? So that was my story during my USP starving days. I will now move into the COVID-19 induced challenges. Huh? So when COVID-19 broke our shores, I was on a project in Nandi, and we had to be recalled because of obviously the restrictions that were being put in place. So that was a sudden end to the income that I was getting comfortable with. Came back, the money lending was still going, so we kind of lived off of the profits from that. But it started, our pool started draining out very fast because I only have 9. Yes. So I had to think of something else. We belonged to the Lami containment zone then. We lived in the Lanavesi. So our containment zone started from Wainandoi to the Lanavesi Bridge. I had to think of something that will work in my locality. For a great extent, I would say we kind of accidentally stumbled on this, like something Sue had shared. We started out selling milk. Oh, I have it there, milk deliveries. So there was this couple, an old couple that live in Namboro that we met, and they sell milk, they sell fresh milk, and we used to buy from them before. And then uncle asked me if we could help them because they don't have any market for their milk anymore. They used to supply to Navua. So without thinking, I just said, why not? We'll do it. So every morning we would drive from Delenavesi to Namboro, pay him the milk, pay him $2 a liter. And I come and sell this in the Lami area at $3 a liter, $1 to cover my fuel. I expected no profit from that. But if you have faith, that was our seed that we planted. So we did not have, those are our bottles of fresh milk. And that's it being boiled. I had to first impress my children, because they are not used, they actually were disgusted the first time I made them try it. They didn't get the taste, they didn't like the taste. So I had to boil it and show them how nice it was by my expressions. They tried, but they were more convinced to use it to make ice blocks, and I allowed them to do that. We did not gain any business from that financially, but we had started to establish our networks. Most of the people I know in Lami now, I never knew before this. It was through the milk deliveries. They had called me the red cow because I delivered fresh milk in a red car. And when I post it up on Facebook, I will say, please, if you've given us your order, look out for the red cow. And that became popular in the Lami area. It also established trust with these customers. We've started to build trust within the community that we were serving. It was also the chance for me to scope the market that we had at that time. Okay, I was learning a lot of geography during that time. Oh my gosh, nothing that I had learned at USP. And I took a few geography courses while I was here. But I began to learn about the geography of my locality during that time. And I knew the people that lived in this area, the high end and the low end of the community that I lived in. And so I saw opportunities there. Because you've scoped the market, you would have also spotted some opportunities. So we tried out a few things. I actually tried to teach this to my children. One of my children, who is now in the Wadi, started doing this. Some of them are labeled there. This was around Coca-Cola time. So, they focused on doing the school ones. That went well. But it wasn't what I had wanted. So my daughter continued with that. I tried out sewing and some little home selling. Unfortunately, I have 9. So, most of the bean and ice block and everything just evaporated. I even tried out fabric painting. Morning. I can be very unladylike sometimes. Yeah, so I tried out gardening as well. I still love gardening and I still continue. Gardening, this is something that is very therapeutic and something that also teaches you a lot of lessons that you also need and you can also apply to your business model. I learned about patience. Very bad teacher because they don't talk back to you, these plants. I had to be just very just to be very patient with them. I learned about climate, certain things for certain seasons, the environment, and how very important it is for your survival or for your business survival. Pests and diseases. Very, very important to know about this. You need to learn about your rivals. As much as you hate them, you need to learn about them. And how to management. And then there's harvest and post-harvest. If you are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, I'm sure you can apply all of those lessons to what we are aspiring to be. Yeah, still trying out. I also make use of my garden produce by catering to some events. And it was out of this that the love of business was birthed. Right, after trying out all of those, I had to self-assess. Where do my strengths lie? You know, for those of the things that I had tried, will this be viable for me? Do I know, do I have the skills to do this? I had to assess my strengths, my weaknesses, the cost, the value or worth of what I was doing, the demand in my locality. Who are the existing players in the field that I'm stepping into? The demand on time. Do I have the time that I need to invest? The labor. Can I manage with the number of people that I have? Profitability. Will it make sense? Will my efforts be worth it? Sustainability. Will it be able to carry us through? Or will it just last during this COVID period? Right, out of those assessments, the Lovo Queen decided, let's start Joski Lovo. This is what we were known as at the beginning. We supplied Joski Lovo. For those of you that love Joski, no, it doesn't come with the cans. We only repurpose the empty cartons that we collect from the supermarkets. And unfortunately, when you had the vaccination incentive, I think, we ran out of packagings because people were not only buying cans, they were buying cartons. They took the cartons with them. But yeah, that's how we called ourselves. We called the Lovo Joski Lovo. And that has stuck as a family business. The smaller ventures that we had experimented with now remain with the kids. And from May 2021 to now, we've grown with the lessons that we've picked up along the journey. Right, that is my daughter you're seeing. They have market days, and we used to look out for these market days, and we used to try and get a spot because we wanted to be out there. We wanted to be visible. No, that's not the father of my kids, but he was a customer. He was a customer for my daughter at that Defense Club Market Day. All right, to assess your market, this is how we did ours. By the way, I'm sharing from our own experience. Please do not think this is a lecture in business. I am just sharing the lessons we've picked up along the way. Yeah? We had to be familiar with the population that we had in our locality. And for the Lami area, we had scoped that very well during our milk delivery days. But when the borders opened up, we had to know more about our market, the ethnic mix, the religious mix, the social mix, all of these we needed to apply and customize in our business design. Competition. What is your edge over the other businesses, over the other players in your particular field? For us, we pride ourselves with organic lover because I ban the use of plastic to light the fire. I do not like the use of plastic to light the fire. That's just how I want to educate my children along the field that I'm in. And it's also because I've seen many, many times men lighting their lovo with plastic, Coke bottles, kerosene. I'm sure they will not confess to this, but I know there are some in here that do that. For us, we do not use that. If you see, this picture over here is not very clear, but that's what we call in Lao Nambarawa. This is the stuff, well, maybe some people in here will know the English name, but it's part of a coconut, you know, where the coconuts, you know it. Eh? I don't have to make up my explanation. Great, great, great. We're getting there. Okay, so that's what we use to light our fire. And that's what, and in the process, my kids get to know that these things also have use. Things that are just lying around compounds. And so when we are on the road and we spot barawa everywhere, we stop. We stop and we collect these things because actually this is our fuel. Yeah, it's organic. And from the feedbacks we've gotten, it is priced right. And we actually provide free delivery. So yes, after this, you can give in your orders. Weighing out your demand. These are things that I thought I'll highlight just to help you, you know, probably gain more confidence in your journey wherever you are, whether you're starting, whether you are already in the middle of it. For us, we use Facebook and Instagram a lot. This is where we sell. This is where our market is. We put it up, we post up our real-time pictures, and we receive orders, and we just follow their orders to deliver to the addresses that they provide. We often ask ourselves, the second line there, is there a need for adjustment in our market? These are some of the questions that we must ask ourselves in our journey, because the aim is to grow. For us, when we started with only 5 packs of Lovo delivered within the Lami area. And we rejoiced. We thought that was great. That was it. That was a lot of money. That is only a very small percentage of what we get now. Because we've chosen to grow, because we've chosen to capitalize on the feedbacks that we get back. Positive or negative, those are very important, very useful feedbacks. Oh, I've already addressed the third point. Yeah, you also gauge your market from repeat orders. If you get repeat orders, and we get a lot of that. And social media following. So social media also has its advantages as well. Another challenge is the availability of supply. For us, we do not have a farm yet. So we buy nearly all of our raw materials. When we first increased our orders, our number of packs, we had hooked up with a few farmers thinking, you know, you help them directly instead of letting the middleman benefit from their sweat. But it's the question of consistency, reliability, quality, and the time that were not met. So we reverted back to just going down to the market. Some of you may see us on Saturday mornings, just walking around the supermarket, buying our supplies. But these are important things that we must scope when you are trying to assess your feasibility. Okay, so these are some of the skills that we have acquired over the course of our journey. And these are also skills that I feel are needed for an aspiring entrepreneur. Self-discipline is very important for us because we don't have that many staff. Oh, by the way, this business is just me and my children. We now have 3 employees. And so we don't have that many hands, but we have too many packs that we need to prepare for our customers. That's why it's very important for them to be able to multitask. And that's some of the skills that they've now mastered during the time that they've been doing this. Teamwork. This is also very important. We had a problem in our Christmas orders, Christmas sale, and it was basically because just one team member did not do her part. Everything crashed. And we had few weeks of planning, strategizing and everything, but it took one team member to pull the whole team down. Teamwork is very, very important. Time management. Again, very important. I never knew I could manage my time as well as I do now. But that's something that my entrepreneurial journey has taught me. Optimizing on the very limited resources that we have. I've kind of taught my kids how to budget in everything that we use, even the mbarawa. We need to budget everything. Financial literacy. These are some of the things that I've gotten back from my employees, as well as those women that I mentor on the side. Professionalism in customer service. This is something I will give credit to the Red Bank. This is where I had learned customer service, and I've always rated Westpac as the best. I'm not so sure about now, but it was at that standard during my time because we valued customer service so highly. I had gotten probably just 2 warnings because the customers were not happy with my service. And that's when I really had to value my customers. And I've held on to that lessons, and I'm now imparting it to my employees and my children especially. Conflict management, when you manage a team, oh dear, I did not know I was going to have to do this, but I've had to do it on a few occasions. And I look in the mirror and I just tell her, you did an awesome job, because they are still with me. Negotiation skills. This is what you have to employ when you're dealing with your suppliers, with your customers. How to be diplomatic, how to be professional and businesslike with them. Team management, okay. Leadership skills. You have to first become a self-leader to be able to master being a people's leader. This is what I encourage my team to lead by example, to just do what you know you should have done. Do it as if it's your own business. Take ownership. And business management skills. If you are managing a business, you are a business manager. Congratulations. Okay, these are some of the business impacts in our first year. These were some of the things that we were able to achieve in our first year of existence as a Lovo supplier, and me as the Lovo queen. First of all, the financial benefits. I'm a single mother, by the way. So to have celebrated my son's 21st birthday, something that he had wanted and I didn't budget for, it came to that budget, and it's something I couldn't have done if I didn't have the business then. We had provided assistance to about more than 30 families. This was during COVID, and some continued after COVID. We had a few sponsorships, including, well, mostly in my end, Bakamba Rugby, and Nanduruvesi is my Matangali. Education costs for my children. I was able to treat the kids to holidays and picnics, something that I couldn't afford before too. We were able to respond to calls for barter exchanges with a group of women in Televu when they were in need of that during the COVID lockdown. So we would drive all the way from Delanovesi to the Longani border and exchange with the groceries that they had listed to us. And it felt so good to be able to do that. And that is something that the love of business had allowed us, enabled us to do. We also paid deposit and repaired a vehicle to the cost of $25,000. We had maintained 2 vehicles at a time, amounting to that much. Why am I giving you all of this? This is just a measure of what we were able to achieve in our first year. I want to encourage you, if you think you're starting from nothing, there's so much that you can achieve. You only have to have the faith and the passion to drive you. So basically, all in all, we had raised our quality of life. These are just some of the visuals. Look at my youngest there, just enjoying his movie. Those things I couldn't afford for him if it wasn't for this business. And I even am having a manicure, something I never even afforded when I was working. These are some of the things that we can now afford. How did I get all of those to you? You measure your impacts by keeping your book. Don't worry, Sue, I'm also as messy as you, or maybe worse. But yeah, if you are able to keep your records, please do so. That's how you look back and see, this is how much I've made in this year. This is how much I've spent on this. This is how much I've spent on this. Maybe I can improve on this. Maybe I can cut down on this. This is how you measure your impacts. Huh? So you look at your income. You also look at your expenditure lines. What have I been able to acquire? What have I been able to sponsor? What have I been able to pay for? What have I been able to afford, basically? Yeah? Your capital account, from nothing, what do you have now? Staff payroll, why is that important as a reflection tool? You see the number of households that you are now helping through employment. Because we need to grow, and you know you are growing when you are recruiting people. We started out just me and the kids. And then as we grew, we needed more hands. So we started hiring people, started paying people from outside our family. And they are a measure of your impacts as well. You are actually contributing to your economy's welfare that way. And also those that are wanting to join your company, applications and requests from outside to join. Ours is a very, very small business. But I believe these are also things that you can use with your bigger scale businesses. I can't compare to our chief guest's business. Hers is too big for me. But I'm sure she employs some of these as well. We also need to know and identify your barriers. Greed. Greed. This is very, very tricky. and also important for us to be aware of. Once it gets in, your business is heading south, because ultimately it's going to catch up to you. Friends, sometimes somebody has a restaurant. Oh, we just go to her. We just book down. Just go to her restaurant. We're going to eat there. Family, same thing, especially with us KVT. When somebody has a business, all the wonga just go there. Unhealthy competition. Competition is good, but it needs to be healthy. Credit, again, big pothole for us Fijian business owners. And poor or no planning. Now, addressing the barriers. I feel like this is a good way of addressing our barriers as entrepreneurs, as business owners. Engage with your communities. But do it according to your capacity. Don't show off and want to sponsor all of the volleyball tournaments in your area and then go down with them when at the end of it. Reward your staff. It works both ways. It keeps the morale high. It makes them feel appreciated. While it also makes you feel good about sharing the excess that you've made. It does not encourage that spirit of greed. Sponsorships, where you feel the passion, sponsor, but again, within your capacity. Reach out and empower others. For us that start from nothing, never forget how you started. Reach out and help somebody up. Okay? That's how you will ground yourself. You will keep yourself grounded, and you will keep away the spirit of greed. Always strive to get more, but don't keep all. When you get more, you also share more. So the pictures you see there, these are some of our trips when we go, and we have 2 Loloma packs every Sunday that we go and visit. We have a list of families that had written in. We also have, also visit our street friends. Randomly, I do not encourage handouts. When we go to visit them, they call me Na, by the way. Yeah, they don't address me Queen at all. When we come, they'll all run to the car because they know the car by now. Na, kitong giwawa to na mapasauti. They were all waiting for us the week before and we didn't come. Damduarak. Nakito lobo. Kudi manda ka bala ni kayong lobo. Rather, Sando Tukunavi Kemundo, you do not expect. Do not form expectations. Be thankful for what you get. But oi ko sa chikong bitaw ni kin balik ko biya hustle. But ay chiko korro and don mo listal kin. Ko sa tabing les kin korro hustle sar chiko kako ni ko complain kako talay naman kin na nakanda bigin chumay ko na mo labo na bising tam. So yeah, that's them all smiling because they got themselves a pack. We all know us by now, but it's such a beautiful feeling when you are able to share what much of what you have surplus of. And we are also able to give back to businesses that are just starting up. This is something that has gotten into my kids as well. When we are driving past and they see a small market on the roadside, sometimes I just want to look in the front and just keep driving because, Mama, we have to buy there, whatever they're selling. It's because they know our beginnings. They know how we started. And they know the feeling of us wanting to sell out, to be able to sell everything that we had on our table. So it keeps us grounded. These are some of the key lessons that I wanted to share. Celebrate your successes. Any small improvement, that's success. Small growths along the way, that is success. Celebrate it. If you can't afford a bottle of wine, just look in the mirror and tell her, you've done a great job. That's what I used to do. You've done a great job, woman. Keep going. Sometimes, even when it turns out the negative, when you have customer complaints, I don't see that as a negative. I see that as a challenge for me to grow. And I think by now I've mastered the art of ironing out these types of complaints. What have they done to me? Okay, yes, accept feedbacks, critics, but customize your changes. I liked how our chief guest had shared this morning. You must believe in yourself. You must believe in yourself. Of course, people are going to give you feedbacks left, right, and center. People are even going to want to manage your business. You have to do it like this because this is okay, great. But while you are nodding okay to everybody, you must remain true to yourself, your principles. Why did I do what I'm doing? What is it for? You have to keep your focus. Not just because last week somebody complained about this and wanted you to change the fish, you go and change it. Somebody else will come back to you and complain, that fish is not good, take this fish, you will go back and change it. Baba, you'll be dancing throughout your life. Customize your changes from the feedbacks that you're getting. And yes, lesson number 1 from my 2 warnings from Westpac, never be defensive with your feedbacks. Compliment your staff often. Actively engage in community. Encourage team bonding activities. These are some of the lessons that we've picked up along the way that I thought to share. Time is more, way more than money. The value I'm talking about here. That's why when new people, I accept everybody on my Facebook page because of the business. But I also get very funny messages on there too. And if somebody new says hi to me, Mbulavinaka, I'm very friendly. I write back, Mbula. Dabasavaka, stop it. What are you doing? Time is very important to me. I cannot waste my time explaining to you the 100 things that I've done today. That kind deserves a block, and I hardly block people. I only block when necessary. Yes, time. You lose 1 hour today, like I'm losing 1 hour right now to you people. I don't get it back. But the money, you lose money today, you will make money again. That's how valuable your time is. So please manage your time very, very smartly. Where am I? Okay, mentorship. This is a very valuable component of any business. If you want continuity, you need to mentor in the process. It's very hard and costly as well to recruit new people from outside. It's better that you mentor the people that you have, train the people that you have, and move them as you need. Competition. I feel like the biggest competition needs to be with that person in the mirror. You need to compete, you need to improve on whatever you are doing before you look to the side to your competitor. Improve on your own first. Improve with self before others. Again, self-discipline is key. And entrepreneurship is a journey of self-discoveries. Don't think you know it all from the start. I did not know I was going to be the lover queen. I did not know, I did not train to be a cook. I did not train to be a novel maker. I have my qualifications and a career. But I've discovered a lot about myself in my journey. I've discovered a lot about the strengths that I didn't even know I possessed. And that's the challenge that I want to challenge all of you with today. You don't know yet what you are capable of until you actually put yourself out there. Step out of your comfort zone. Dare to be an entrepreneur. All of those lessons, all of those experiences that we've had over the nearly 2 years of our existence was anchored with a passion, faith. This was a very, very big component. Hope. We have a lot of challenges in our business because of its nature. We have a market that is highly insecure. Most of our logo days, we will be burying the logo without any orders at all. That is faith. Business people will call it risks. We call it faith. Hope. There's always hope. Even sometimes we don't sell all. But there's always hope for a better tomorrow. Try again. Never ever just give up right there. No. There must always be hope. Love. And with love is empathy. Without empathy, you will not be able to understand your customers, your suppliers, and basically your market. You still want me to talk? Malo, that was all we had for you on this session.
Thank you so much, Madam. Let's give a big round of applause to the Lovo Queen, Her Majesty, Miss Elizabeth. Thank you, Madam, for such a wonderful program, and it was really inspiring, I guess, for everyone over here. And I guess this is one of the sessions where no one is sleeping. Everyone seems like they are ready for another presentation. But sadly, this is the end for today. I'll just read out the program for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll begin with the British High Commission. This will be from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We will have from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Entrepreneur's Journey. This is from Nama, Fiji. We'll go on a break after that. We'll begin at 2 p.m. from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. This will be Women Entrepreneurs and Business Council. From 3 to 4 p.m. we'll have Mondelez, and from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. we have PG Revenue Custom and Services. We thank our speakers for today. We thank our chief guest for being with us till the afternoon. Thank you, Madam. Thank you for your time. We thank Madam Her Majesty Miss Elizabeth for being with us here today. And we thank you all for joining us face to face, those who are joining us through Zoom from all our regional campus. A big Vinaka Vakalevu and warm Pacific greetings to you all. Thank you.